what I can tell you all, and if you want me to expound upon it, I will on the Patreon. I don't agree with who was selected. That's all I'm going to say here. I'll expound upon that for $5 a month on the Patreon. We are your host, James.
And Stephanie.
Here on the Pitchy Podcast, we are passionate about a really good vocal. We'll always use, as far as right now, the vehicle of NBC's The Voice to give you our taking on feedback on each contestant. Each contestant's voice and overall performance. What we're never here to do is come for anyone as a human being or anything that is malicious. But what we will always do is speak our truths with love, kindness, and respect. And with that, let's get to our results show for the semifinals. So, hey, Stephanie, how are you doing?
I'm pretty good. How are you?
I'm tired.
Yeah.
But I'm good. I'm okay.
Good. Good.
Raining here, I
Yes.
Can you stand the rain? That's what New Edition told me. So, I
I
love
can't.
it. I love it. All right. So we got some business to take care of. So run it down for the pitchies as to what happened tonight.
So the night started with the John Legend performance. He is celebrating his 20th anniversary, which is mind-blowing to me, of Get Lifted. I went to the Get Lifted, not the Get Lifted concert. I went to a concert where John Legend was the opener for Alicia Keys when Get Lifted first came out. I can't believe it's 20 years old. He did the song so high. It was so angelic. It was beautiful. It was very Colby-esque. I felt like there was a little extra grits in his throat. He slowed it down just a touch, had added some strings, and the BGVs were hollering. They were hollering. It was beautiful. I felt like Kelsey was sweating a little bit because she had to do a performance later on in the show, and she did her song Baggage. Now, she had 4 other singers with her, and I didn't quite catch why those 4 other singers were singing with her. They all sounded great. I thought that she sounded really great live. It was a cute performance. Very lady girl power.
I remember John Legend. Well, John Legend and I were both students in Stephanie City. Now he was at the Ivy League school across town. But I went to a school that wasn't too bad. But
that's right.
But yeah, I remember when John was making his rounds in, and like a lot of people don't know this about John, but John got called out from UPenn to lay some stuff down for Lauryn Hill for miseducation, and that's how and that was years before. Like good 5-6 years before John blew up, or before he became a household name. But I remember he was doing this thing around Philly back in the day. Awesome.
Some of the best come from Philly. So we started off, as far as the results go, Carson gave us the 4 of the artists that were moving straight through into next week's top 5 finale. And so here they are in the order that they were given. Number 1 was Renzo. Number 2 was Lucia. Number 3 was Jaden. And number 4 was Jalen.
So we had someone from each coach represented, right?
Yes, we do. Yes, we did.
So nobody is sitting out.
Which I like. I like it. It makes it a little less uncomfortable of a finale when everybody has somebody that's participating. So yeah, if I don't know if you want to give any thoughts about those folks here. We're definitely going to give some thoughts in our Patreon if you want to join us over there.
No, I'll wait for the Patreon.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. And just so y'all know, in case you're wondering, we are real over at Patreon.
I mean, we're real here.
We might be. We're real here.
This? I don't agree.
No. Let me finish what I'm saying. We're real here. We're real on Patreon. I don't want to mislead people. We're still kind over at Patreon. We speak a little bit more freely over at Patreon, but we will never, what we say in our opening is what we mean on this main platform and on our Patreon. So we might be a little bit more honest and a little bit more real on Patreon, but we're not mean over there either. So if you're looking for that, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get that.
And what I can tell you all, and if you want me to expound upon it, I will on the Patreon. I don't agree with who was selected. That's all I'm going to say here. I'll expound upon that for $5 a month on the Patreon.
Sounds
How about
great.
you, Stephanie? Do you agree with who was selected?
I do not.
All right. And then if you want to hear more, $5 a month. That's it. That's it. All right.
So after that, or actually after Kelsey's performance, we found out who our top 4 instant save artists were. Those were the artists that were next in line, the next top 4 that got the opportunity to sing for their lives. So here is the order that was given. We had Adam David, we had Olivia, we had Iris, and we had Bryson. What did you think about those 4?
Now, I agreed with them. I agree with people who still should be in the competition was definitely in that bottom 4. But one person was missing, as far as I'm concerned. Colby was missing, which I just thought was ridiculous. But again, I'll talk more about that on the Patreon. Stephanie?
Okay.
What about you, your feelings?
I felt similar. I felt like I couldn't really put up much of a fight for anybody that was going to be in the instant saves. But not everybody that I wanted to sing for instant saves got a chance to sing.
Right. Absolutely.
And that's the conundrum of this season, is that there's so much talent, literally so much talent, that I feel like we would have been mad in one arrangement or another, because there's just so many talented people.
It's interesting that you said that. I think there's an arrangement that I wouldn't have been mad at now that the results have come out.
An arrangement of top 5 or an arrangement of instant save?
Instant save.
Okay. So I would love to hear that in Patreon. Sure. Okay. All right. So let's run down the performances really quick. I was wondering if they were going to perform in the order in which they were named. And they sort of did. They flip-flopped Olivia and Adam, which I wonder why. But Olivia was first from Team Legends. She sang Rainbow by Casey Musgraves, which I thought was an interesting choice.
Darling, I'm just trying to tell you that there's always been a rainbow hanging over.
What did you think of her performance?
Here's what I said about Olivia. I said she's a star. I don't think Olivia needs this show. I'm not cheapening the voice when I make that comment, but she's already very much a working musician with one of the biggest artists of today. You know, when she's not at home waiting for the show to pick back up, right? From the tapings that she did months ago. No, she's on tour with Teddy Swims. So again, I appreciate Olivia because it showed the pro in her, because Olivia took the more artistic approach to her save when she could have gone, balls to the walls, right? She could have hollered it down, which we are in a lot of cases are used to seeing in a lot of saves. I said, I don't know if her artistic approach was going to translate, because it usually doesn't. And this, people want something big and bombastic. But as far as I'm concerned, Olivia already won, because the ultimate goal is not to win this show and these shows. I mean, we're 20 some years into these types of shows. ultimate
Yeah.
goal is that in 20 years, are you still going to be gigging and doing this, making a good living at doing this? And
Yes.
Olivia has staying power.
Yes.
And whether she decides to stay a BGV, which I don't think she will, or go off on her own, she's already won. She's proven to me
Right.
week in and week out, and John kind of alluded to this, that
Mm-hmm.
she's one of the greatest singers to ever grace this stage.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie,
Mm-hmm.
what's your
Yeah. These instant save performances are not my favorite in some ways because I feel like the artists don't really practice them. You can tell by the instrumentation that it's very slight. The only great thing about it is that the artists seem to have the choice in what their song is, which I think is the fair thing to do. If they're going to go out, they should be able to go out singing the song that they choose to sing. I thought that this was an interesting choice of song because it's very different than anything else that she's sang on the show, or in a different styling. She can't sound bad. She can't sound bad. Was this my favorite performance? No, but she can't sound bad. I think that this song, this selection, this performance only showed the diversity of her skill set. Like, you might as well show America everything that you can do, and that you can do different stylings, and you can sound a little bit more pop, you can even lean country if you need to. Why not diversify the portfolio while you have the opportunity? So,
Yep.
well done.
Well,
Well done.
Well done. And honestly, I don't know if Olivia. I don't know, Olivia. I know you watch. I don't know if Olivia was looking to win. That's just my personal opinion. Like, it would have been nice, but I just she's already there.
She, like you said, she's already won.
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Our next singer was Adam David. I had a feeling. I said, if Adam's going to bring it current, it would only it'd be apropos for him to do Teddy Swims.
Breaking my heart, baby. You make a mess of me.
Right.
He was going to do Teddy Swims, or he was going to do Who's My Dude? He was going to do some Chris Stapleton or the other guy.
Yeah, he was going to do Now and Soulful, because that's just who Adam,
Now and Soulful, exactly. Alan
I said
Stone.
It was an A. Alan.
Yes.
I said another one who does not need this show. Okay. I said you better Teddy Swims us. I took Teddy Swims' name to a verb. I love how every time Adam David sings, he takes his time with the song. I said,
take your time.
He's one of those vocalists where, like, the band waits for him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just, he does this sweet, he does rough, he does everything in between. And everyone talks about Renzo's falsetto this season, y'all. But I went back and listened to Adam David last night, and that Otis, what's that Otis Redding he said?
Sam Cooke.
And listened to it at the end of the night. He was screaming. He was hollering. It wasn't just the BGV. Adam David was up there with the BGV last night. And his falsetto is bananas. He has got a holler in that throat of his. And again, just pro. I love seeing pros do their thing and say, children, this is how it's done.
Children.
No matter what our age are. And again, Adam David and Olivia are two of the oldest people on the show, even though they're in their early and mid-30s.
Right.
But they were like, you know what? We're vets. This is how it's done, y'all. This is how it's done. Take notes.
Yeah, I felt like by the end, he was just throwing everything at it. He was like, I'm just going to sit up here and sing. And I was like, take your time, sir. Take your time. Like, do you. That's what I feel like. I feel like the instant save is the perfect place for the artist to just do whatever they want, kind of. And of course, show everything that they have. But it's kind of like, it's in America's hands. It's not in my hands anymore. I'm just going to get up here and sing. But I do love the fact, like you said, there's always this consistent feeling of just take your time,
Yeah.
sir. Take your time. And that says to me confidence and assuredness in what you do. I'm just gonna stand up here and do what it is that I do. That last note felt like he was trying to pay his rent. Like I was like, you better sing, sir. But I love that you pointed out how strong his falsetto is, because he definitely let us hear that tonight.
Yeah.
If we didn't pay attention to it before, we paid attention to it tonight, for sure.
All right. So next is Iris. She
Yeah.
did Rocket Man, right?
Yes.
Elton John.
I'm a rocket man, burning out a fuse up there alone.
Mm-hmm.
I said, you know what I wrote? I said, steal it, sis. I said, don't y'all. I said, y'all will make a mistake and give Iris. If you give Iris another chance, it will be an opportunity for Iris to steal a
Mm-hmm.
spot because she's that good. I think last night was a fluke. I'm glad people still voted for her and she got a chance to sing again.
Mm-hmm.
This type of singing is in her wheelhouse. I said, her voice just makes her undeniable. I said, it's such a special talent. I can't, again, I need to check the birth certificate. John said that about Bryson. I said, I need to check hers. Because it's a 75-year-old voice who's done through 5 divorces. I can't believe how developed she is as an artist. I think Iris knows exactly who she is. And Kelsey said it. You don't need me. You know what I mean? You're ready. She just turned 20. I mean, she was 19 for the majority of this show singing the way she did.
Right.
Give Iris a chance, y'all. She's going to steal it every time. She's going to. She's going to. I liked it. I don't know if I would have, again, necessarily picked Rocket Man, but I wanted to hear her maybe do some, I don't know, something. I wanted her to do, I don't know, some Dusty Springfield or Amy Winehouse or something, or I don't know, something.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
I'm done.
Okay. It's a little on the nose, but I would have liked to have heard her do something Miley.
Yeah.
Like a slow Miley. I did not like the song choice. And here's why. I felt like for Iris's range, this was not going to be a good song choice with how the original melody of this song goes. And she did try, and she did do some melodic changes to not have to go up as high as it goes sometimes. And I just felt like some of those just did not hit. By the middle, I was getting a little nervous because it just kind of felt like it was going off the rails a little bit. She wheeled it back and it came back and it was better the mid-end to the end. But I felt like nerves were in play. And I just did not feel like this was the correct song to best highlight what she does best. And if I'm ever looking to see whether my thoughts are tracking with the coaches, they always give me information to let me know. And again, Kelsey was talking about her artistry and her individuality, all of which is true. However, when you don't talk about a vocalist vocal in your feedback to them, I understand that you're trying to be kind, but I also understand that you might not have loved the vocal
Right.
because you didn't talk about it. So, and let me say, as I say every year when we talk about these instant saves, I cannot begin to understand the pressure that these artists are under, whether they are pro, whether they are brand new, it don't matter. There is an intense amount of pressure that goes along with this. So anybody that can stand on that stage, remember every lyric, and give a performance that is not a complete Trainwreck, I give all the love and respect to. So
Yeah, there's only one.
well done.
There's only one singer, since we've been doing this podcast, there's only one singer that I can think of that relished in it.
Oh,
Kike is the only person I
Kike.
think that
Yeah.
really relished in this.
Yeah, he was like, give me another instant save.
Yeah, like it's like he elevated, and it was
Yes.
kind of freakish, and we lost our
Yes.
minds. Like, but to your point, Stephanie, there is so much added pressure
Mm-hmm.
because it's like you don't even get to really go off stage and prepare. Like,
No, you don't.
Because you're on stage, like, hey, you gotta smile.
Yes.
So yeah. Okay, awesome. Okay, so our final singer of the night was Bryson, Talking to the Moon. Love this song.
Oh,
I love this song.
Talking to me too, or am I a fool? You say it's love, talking to the moon. Oh.
I feel like Bryson is doing this instant save on his terms. To your point, Stephanie, this is what I've been waiting for all season. No, not since, because I felt like Bryson sang his face off on the chair turn, on the blinds. I said,
and the playoff, I think you enjoyed as well.
Listen to his voice soar in this song. I said, this is a performance I've been waiting for. Let them have it. I said, you knew when his knees bended, he was like bent. I said bended. I bent what was coming. I said, this is so good on a crazy difficult song. And I loved the nuances he was doing with his voice on this. And this is what, like, I could not put to words, I couldn't form the words as to why I was being so tough on Bryson, because he's an artist and he's not just a showman, right? He's not just the voice. He is an artist too. And I was like, he wouldn't go to Berklee College of Music and graduate from Berklee College of Music if he wasn't an artist. Because Berklee, I mean, come on, Parajita, Kike, like all those people. Michelle Farrell. I can just name tons of singers who went to Berklee who, like, they're artists. Layla Hathaway. Like, this is what I was waiting for. This performance, I thought it was exquisite. I thought that he did everything just right. I loved it. Stephanie?
He opened up his mouth and I said, guns blazing, but not in a bad way, not in an aggressive way. It was just like, I'm going to sing this song, exactly what you said. I'm going to go out the way that I want to go out. It was interesting because I was thinking, like, what's he going to sing? Because we can always trust and believe that Bryson has the capability of singing the big stuffs. And when I think of the big stuffs, I'm thinking of mostly female artists, right? You're thinking about the Celines, the Whitneys, the Mariahs. I love that he did Bruno. I love that because Bruno is the big stuffs to me too, based on his level, the level of difficulty of his songs. The falsetto was gorgeous. I felt him. I felt the emotion, full throat singing, sang. I felt like he just grabbed the opportunity. And I was so proud of him because looking at him on that stage, he's the one that I felt for the most. I felt him as names were being called. I could feel his, I don't want to name what the feeling was because I don't know, but I felt him the most. And I said a little silent prayer. I was like, no matter how it goes, just give him the opportunity to sing one more time. No matter how it goes down, give him the opportunity to sing one more time. So, and I'm glad that he was given that.
All right. So, big reveal, as they always do at the very last second of the show.
Very last second.
Who has lived to sing another day?
Adam David.
It's so funny. As they were, Carson was about to announce, I said it's either going to be Adam or Bryson. I don't know. And I did it in that order. I said Adam David or Bryson. I said that's who's going to get picked. I don't know. I felt it. That's not who I voted for. I voted for Olivia. But now that if I could do it over again, I would have voted for one of those two because, again, I think Olivia is like, you know what? I did what I come to do on this show.
Yeah.
I think Iris too. Yeah. All
right,
right, y'all. Tell them what they need to hear, Stephanie.
Don't forget to follow and subscribe to the Pitchy Podcast on your favorite podcast platform. And also, while you're there, especially if you are on Apple Podcasts, please rate and review the show so more friends find us. Then hop on over to YouTube so you can see us. Search for the Pitchy Podcast. Hit that subscribe button and the bell so you know when we drop a new video. Hop on over to Instagram and TikTok at the Pitchy Podcast and follow us there. Also at Blue Sky at the Pitchy Podcast at bsky.social for new episode alerts, episode clips, and so much more. Last, we spilled the tea in Patreon. Well, not really tea, our own personal tea about how we personally felt about the results for $5 per month. You can hear that content and all the rest of this week's content and all the content from season 27. And if you're a little bit nervous about, the voice is ending, why y'all still doing Patreon? We sure are. We have more content coming in the meantime and between time. Season 28 will be fast approaching and we're going to have plenty of content in between there. So make sure if you like us here, you will love us on Patreon. $5 per month.
All right, everyone. We'll see you next week with the finale. Can't wait.
Ooh, can't wait. Bye-bye.